I'm Michelle and welcome back to Somewhere in Bookland. This is my September TBR. I have a plan to read 9 months. I have a plan to read 9 months worth of books in 1 month. No. I have a plan on my TBR to read 9 books in this month and hopefully more. But I have 9 books on my TBR, and then I also plan on doing the Contemporary-a-thon, but I will put my TBR for that up separately closer to the Contemporary-a-thon, which takes place September 17th through the 23rd. So that will be a separate TBR if I actually end up deciding to do it, which right now I'm sitting at yes, but it depends if I stay in a reading slump or not, because I was in a reading slump basically all of August, and today is the 3rd of September and I have read 2 books so far this month, so hopefully I can keep it up. Yes. So the first book that I would like to read in the month of September is actually a book that I need to review, and that is The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle. Now this book follows this girl Sabrina at her 30th birthday dinner, and at this dinner she shows up and it's not just her best friend but also 3 people from her past and Audrey Hepburn, and basically it answers the question of if you could have dinner with anybody, who would it be and why? And this is her dinner coming true, and you find out why they're all there. And it sounds like a very interesting premise, and it's not a super long book, so I'm hoping to have this one done pretty soon. It comes out on the 11th, so obviously I'm going to have it done before the 11th, but yes, it comes out on the 11th. The next 3 books are also arcs that come out this month, and they're arcs that I've picked up at conventions throughout the year. And the first one is Not Even Bones by Rebecca Schaeffer. This book follows this girl Nita whose mother kills supernatural beings and brings them home for her to dissect. And everything's going fine, everything's going great. They sell these parts on the black market. They end up making money, obviously, off of these supernatural beings. And then one day her mom brings home a live boy. And that's going too far for Nita. Nita cannot morally dissect a living teenage boy. So she helps him escape, and next thing you know, she finds herself as the one in the cage. Because as it turns out, she's not exactly human either. She actually has the ability to adjust her body composition. As she tries to escape, she has to come to grips with herself and decide what type of monster she really is. This book, I'm not gonna lie, I've already read it and I really like it. Obviously I'll talk more about it in the wrap-up, but it's like so dark. Darker than I thought it would be. And yes, so this was on my TBR and I already picked it up. It comes out on the 4th of September, so it comes out tomorrow. Now, this next book comes out on September 11th, and that is Rule by Ellen Goodlett. It follows these 3 girls, Sophie, Rin, and Akila, who all have a dangerous secret that can get them killed for treason. They end up getting brought in front of the dying king, expecting to be murdered. Then they find out that they're the king's only living heirs. They end up moving to the palace and trying to learn what it takes to rule, but somebody knows all of their darkest secrets and is trying to prevent that. I think this book sounds really interesting, and like another darker book, I'm hoping. I just am in the mood for darker books, and yes, this book comes out on the 11th. The last arc that I'm really hoping to get to this month comes out on the 25th, and that is The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kristen White. This book follows this girl Elizabeth who's being abused and starved, and she ends up getting rescued by Victor Frankenstein. To show her gratitude, Elizabeth tries to make herself indispensable to the Frankenstein family, and she succeeds and is soon taken in, and her and Victor become thick as thieves. But as the years pass, her survival depends on keeping Victor happy, and he has mood swings and tempers like nobody's business. Again, I think this book is gonna be on the dark side, and again, I'm very happy about that. The next book I plan on reading in the month of September is a graphic novel, and it comes out tomorrow, and that is I Hate Fairyland Volume 4, Sadly Ever After by Scotty Young. Now, I can't really go into too much detail since this is the 4th volume, but this whole series follows this girl, Gert, who at 6 years old ended up traveling to Fairyland and got stuck there for 30 years. But she still looks like a 6-year-old and she can't get out, she can't get home. And so she's a 36-year-old stuck in a 6-year-old's body, and she's angry and she kills everything, and it's so good, and I highly recommend it. And I love the graphics, I love how bright it is, and yes, I'm really excited for this one. The next book that I want to read comes out on the 18th, and it is Wildcard by Mary Lou. This is the second book in the Warcross, I think it's just a duology, and I read the first book last year and I loved it. It was about this virtual reality game that everybody plays, and this girl, Amika Chin, who's a bounty hunter kind of in that world, and she tracks down people who bet on the games illegally. She ends up glitching herself into the International Warcross Championships opening night, and thinking she's gonna get like punished, she actually ends up getting invited to be a part of the game to help the creators to spy on the inside and try and discover who it is who's trying to sabotage the games. And I loved the first book last year, and I'm really, really excited to be picking up this book as soon as it comes out, really. Now, the last 2 books I want to read, one of them is I'm Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erica L. Sanchez. I want to read this book because it is Hispanic Heritage Month, and I felt like this is a perfect book to read during this month. This book follows this girl, Julia, who feels like she's not the perfect Mexican daughter. She has a lot of things that she wants to do that goes against what her family's plans for her are. Her older sister, Olga, she felt was the perfect Mexican daughter and did everything that her parents wanted of her, and then she ended up dying early. And now Julia feels like everything's on her. And I just think it's going to be a good book, and I'm really looking forward to it. And the last book I want to read in the month of September is Something in Between by Melissa De La Cruz. I've had this book on my shelves for a while, and I just really need to pick it up. This book follows Jasmine de los Santos. My girlfriend's last name is Santos. This book follows Jasmine de los Santos, who is applying to colleges, and she's studied hard and worked hard her whole life, and she's hoping to get a full college ride. But then she finds out that she's actually an illegal immigrant, which means she cannot get scholarships, she cannot go to college, and in fact, she might get deported. Not knowing where she fits anymore, Jasmine starts rebelling against her family and everything she's been her whole life. And I just feel like this is gonna be a good read, and I feel like I'm gonna cry in this book a couple of points, but we'll see. Anyways, those are the 8 books that I would like to read. I might have said 9 earlier in the video and I can't remember. And if you liked this video, click the thumbs up. If you want to see more of this face in your feed, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!